Obviously, having an opportunity to play for gold is going to be on the line here today. Saskatchewan primed and ready in their black jerseys with green and black pants, and of course Alberta in the blue and white. And so excited to see kind of the clash of the Titans here today. We saw a great game earlier between the other two teams, Alberta White and BC, and this time it's Saskatchewan going in. And so wanting to go home to Saskatchewan with the gold medals, but they've got the Alberta team to battle with first before that happens.
Just seen Team BC take home the bronze medal. It's been a good day of football here so far from Emerald Hills, and looks like Team Saskatchewan is going to get first possession.
So both these teams had won by large margins in their first game, but again, the first game, everyone's taking time to get things going. You mean a lot of pride, as we've talked about lots of times with Saskatchewan, a lot of pride in football in Saskatchewan. Again, not a big province, but such strong athletes, coaches, a great football system, includes 6, 9, and 12-man football all over the province, and they come together from many, many high schools around the province to form these teams for all the provinces. And so excited to see the talent on display here today as Alberta will be kicking off to Saskatchewan.
We've seen it in the last game. Special teams can always be such a big story in these games, especially at this level. And this is the second or third teams in this tournament for the province, right? It's a high school second or third teams. First teams are obviously in the Canada Cup, so it can always be a bit of an adventure on special teams, and any play can be a swing, whether it's a return, a fumble, a pooch kick, anything.
I had a chance to talk to some of the Alberta coaches before the game, and they know that Saskatchewan has a lot of speed. And so we're going to see how Alberta and the defense and special teams can handle the speed of this Saskatchewan team.
Nathan Duxbury to kick it off. And that one's going to bounce inside the 15 as Team Saskatchewan can't handle it. Brought to the outside. And out of bounds just inside their own 15, where Saskatchewan's offense will take over.
Well, and so far, special teams edge going to Alberta. Great kick on the ground, came squibbling through. And again, as we all know, the football doesn't bounce like most balls in sport. And so again, hopping around, getting through the returners, limiting their return. So they're going to be starting on their own 13-yard line, which is pretty deep for a starting position. We'll see what Saskatchewan comes out with. Looks like they got a 5-receiver package and a back with the quarterback in the backfield.
Alberta's going to bring the pressure in a huge play on the first play of the game. That's Tegan Poliak with the tackle for loss, and a big loss.
You can see him blitz off the edge, getting through the gap, meeting in the backfield. So great blitz call, bringing some pressure from the strong side of the field, meeting the reverse call, forcing Saskatchewan into 2nd and 15, even closer to their goal line now.
So now Saskatchewan snapping the ball from their own 8-yard line. Big play early on. Ball over the middle is juggled and caught on the helmet of Tanner Donneville.
Well, and great focus to catch that again. Great defense in hot pursuit again as he's catching it with his hands, and his helmet ends up with a very short gain. I think it ended up being only about a yard by the time possession was gained. And so again, early on, a decision for Saskatchewan, punt it away or possibly give up the safety early to break this 0-0 tie early on. We'll see what they decide to do here in their own end zone.
Flory to boot it away, and they are going to boot it. A little bit of a surprise, but no safety. It's a pretty good boot here, fielded at their own 50. And turning the field is Marcus Williams, looking to find the corner. Williams across the 40, makes a man miss and gets it down to the Saskatchewan 35. Marcus Williams with a 15-yard punt return, but it was an electric one.
Well, and a great job of getting this punt off, as you can see in the replay. Good protection. Again, angled at the sideline. That's what you try to do, but the cover team just couldn't hem him in. You can see just kind of hesitated and then uses that burst of speed to get to the edge. You can see in the replay he's just squeezing the sideline. He outruns the guy there. Great. Long way to run, but again, it got nice yardage to put their offense in a great position here.
Carson McFall in to start the game at quarterback for Team Alberta Blue. McFall fakes the handoff. It's thrown. Oh, it was ahead of the receiver. But working to catch it was Kingston Friedman. For a second there, it looked like Saskatchewan might have had a chance at the football. Instead, it'll go down as a first down for Team Alberta.
Well, a chance they had, and what you want to see is that ball is thrown kind of right in between them. Again, very fortunate because it was an overthrow, but the adjustment by the receiver. So good little start for Alberta, making a play when the opportunity was there to get a first down here early. So again, field position obviously playing in favor of Alberta after the offense of Saskatchewan couldn't muster any yards.
Ball at the 24, Alberta looking to move it into the red zone. A quick pitch. Oh, a bit of a mishandle there behind the line of scrimmage. Somehow, Team Alberta was able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. It was Marcus Williams with the final touch, but it looked like more of a volleyball play in the backfield.
But again, he basically catches it and tosses it out in front. There's two backs. It looked like anticipated getting that. So we had the back in the backfield as well as the sweep guys. So again, you're going to see some of those things happen in these games that hopefully don't cost them too dearly because of just different personnel from all over the province coming together, finding a way to play as a unit.
Big play here, 2nd and 13. Flag on the snap. They'll find the out route as Friedman goes out of bounds for a gain of a few. We'll check the flag here. Wonder if that could have been a free play. It came out early on the play. Sounds like Alberta is in field goal range, but a flag here could change things. Haven't gotten an indication yet.
Refs were talking to Alberta, so it is going to be going against Saskatchewan. They're going to get another shot here at second down. Their last second down play came with a flat pass, and again, a short gain on it, but they will get another crack here. Offense gets to stay on the field to see if they can get more than a field goal attempt on this drive.
So now we'll go to a 2nd and 8 with the ball at the Saskatchewan 22. Could be a costly penalty here if McFall and the Alberta offense are able to convert. Friedman kicking over to the left side. Lots of motion here for Team Alberta. We'll go to the air. Over the middle. Into traffic. It's intercepted. Aviara returns it outside the 10. And a huge play for Team Saskatchewan.
So not working out in the favor of Alberta, although the penalty gave them another opportunity. Unfortunately, did not see the free safety come down on that. Just undercut the ball, slightly underthrown, but made a great play to put Saskatchewan offense back on the field. Although still deep in their own end, Saskatchewan needs to find a way to get on the move here.
Saskatchewan starting off at the same spot they did the last drive, their own 13. Last time they didn't get any plays forward. This time they'll find a receiver outright. Donovel cutting it back up the middle, and a good first down gain there for Donovel and the Saskatchewan offense.
Well, just getting it into his hands, you can see after the catch, good burst of speed to the inside. That's the speed the coaches are talking about. They want to learn how to contain that speed and play smart. And so again, forcing the second down here, Saskatchewan's looking to convert to get out of their end.
Flory, the quarterback from the Holy Cross Crusaders in Saskatoon. Quick look to the right, has a receiver open with room in front of him. Kyle Conte makes a man miss, and he's going to go all the way. Conte into the end zone. No flags on the field. Touchdown, Saskatchewan.
So speed on display as we anticipated we will see from Saskatchewan. Again, you're going to see the replay coming across the formation in behind the line of scrimmage. No one chased him, so he had so much room, and then he turns on the Jets. Again, no one able to even get a hand on him with a little bit of blocking downfield, and there is no one close on his way to the end zone. So speed on display for Saskatchewan early, taking the early lead.
88 yards for number 88, Kyle Conte. Huge play for Saskatchewan 5 minutes into this game. Out to kick the extra point is Ty Gorniak. Kick is up and it's good. Now, we talked about the extra points a little bit last game, Rob. Always interesting to look at like kind of what the kickers have in their toolbox, what kind of a leg they have that boot through the end zone. So thinking Saskatchewan might have an actual kicker on their roster, because you don't always have a kicker on your roster.
I think they do, yeah. They looked at something, obviously, an important part in some of these games, as we see, was critical in the last game in what was down to field goals in the end and extra points and that kind of stuff. So again, critical piece. Looked like a solid contact on the ball. Good kick through the end zone. Again, we'll see if they need to go to the field goal. But if they keep scoring from 88 yards out, they don't need much more than a convert kicker. So we'll see how this goes. But again, Alberta looking to strike back here. Had some momentum early with field position, but that got flipped in a hurry.
Kyle Conte from the Miller Moradors in Regina. Difference-making play 5 minutes into this gold medal game. Gorniak to kick it away. Boy, he's listed as a linebacker, but he can sure boot it. Returned by Marcus Williams. Able to get it just outside the 20. And play whistled down. Good special team play for Saskatchewan.
When Marcus Williams is shifty back, and again, you want to make sure you wrap him up. We've seen a few times contact happens, but he does not go down early. A shorter receiver, but man, does he have speed, and so they're going to look to take advantage of that. But again, great job by Saskatchewan containing him and not letting him get the edge and forcing Alberta with a long field.
So we'll see what the Team Alberta offense can do. Last drive started deep in Saskatchewan territory. Ended with an interception by Ambrose Abiara. Saskatchewan bringing pressure, run up the middle. There was a flag on the snap. And looked to be maybe a bit of a cross up there in the Saskatchewan D-line. We'll check the flag. See there is Scott and Damco kind of got tangled up with the D-lineman and kind of fell offside. So a 1st and 5 now for the Team Alberta offense. Full playbook open here. They'll empty out the backfield for McFall. Goes over the middle as he was getting pressured. Finds the hot route. But not a big play there for Liam Critch as he gets taken down immediately. Scott Adamco comes up with the tackle.
Well, Adamco did a great job identifying the crossing route right there or on it very, very early. So on contact, as soon as the ball arrives, contact is there, wraps him up. And that's the best way to catch a guy in space is if you can get him before he can get his head upfield and get a little momentum. That was a good job there.
2nd and at least 2.5. Alberta lines up in a heavy package, handoff, run up the middle. And going to be close here as they look towards Liam Critch. And he will move the chains.
An interesting call, very aggressive call early. I like it. He just got it just by a few inches. It looked like they're spotting the ball just over the 30, so he got it about a half a yard or so. But long 3rd down, got converted early. Good momentum for Alberta if they can keep this drive going.
Ball at the 30. Gage Nagassar will kick out to the right. Another passing play. McFall behind the receiver, juggled around. And Deacon Sterna couldn't quite reel it in. It'll be a 2nd and 10.
And Deacon needs to get 2 hands on that ball early. Again, ball thrown to the outside. If you can get that second hand out there, probably gets it. Again, the ball thrown a little is outside, so he had to adjust. But I like the matchup down there. He's a big, tall receiver out there. Solid body. We'll see if they feel like they can take advantage of maybe a mismatch on that short side of the field.
Alberta needs 10. Pressure right off the edge. McFall booting to the right. Can't find anybody. Now looks towards Sterna. And another drop for Sterna. Neither of them would have been for much yardage. But that'll bring the Team Alberta punt team onto the field.
Well, in scramble rules in football, what happens is the original play design is a quick pass play. It looked like you ran a hitch. And then what you want to do is if the quarterback scrambles, you need to understand the scramble rules, which, and again, in a short amount of time as a team, sometimes you don't enforce that enough. You should have taken off deep. That gives either running room to the quarterback or gives them a deep shot. And so receivers need to learn to adjust when quarterbacks start to scramble.
Team Alberta out to punt. Nathan Duxbury. Fielded by Smith Windsor inside of his own 50. Gets it just outside the 50. There was a flag on the return and then a flag kind of near the end around the tackle. So two flags on the field. We'll have to check.
Pretty sure the second one was a horse collar for sure. Let's take a look on this replay. See that early flag comes out. Again, looks like maybe a holding on Saskatchewan. I think that's where the first flag came out. You can see that on the top side of the screen. And then I think it's
a blindside block there.
Right there, you can see gets his jersey above the shoulder pads, and that's what they're looking for. Is you get above the nameplate. So we got a legal block on Saskatchewan, and then we got that horse collar on Alberta. So it won't change a whole lot. Offset in favor of Saskatchewan just a little bit, but they're going to be in great scoring position. They obviously scored from distance the first time around without really putting a drive together. It was all in one play. We'll see what Saskatchewan comes out with here with great field position just around center.
Kyle Conte scored the last one. He's on the far side of the field at the top of your screen. See if they look towards him again. They're going to go to the ground. Straight up the gut goes Brady Komarnicki. And a gain of 4 on first down.
Well, good first down production again when you soften a defense with an 88-yard touchdown. Open some things up. So keeping a balanced offensive attack, a little bit of run and pass mixed in there is always the recipe for offensive success. We'll see what they have here on 2nd and 5.
Flory looking right, has a man over the middle. Another first down for Saskatchewan as Sullivan Smith-Windsor makes the connection with Flory.
Well, a little bit of audible there. You could hear it from here. The quarterback in his snap count, Alberta is what he called. And sometimes that can be an audible to a play they like or something they see. And again, a quick pass out of that formation allows them to get the first down. And again, the speed of the receivers are going to play in a part of this. Again, when you know you have speedy receivers, you have to respect the deep ball and the automatic touchdown, which they've hit on a hit and run once already. So they're going to have to respect that speed. And that means underneath sometimes opens up a little bit more. So again, Saskatchewan looking to mix it up. Obviously looking real good right now on this first down inside the 35. We'll see what they have for the Alberta defense. And we'll see if the Alberta defense has a response of this early deficit they're facing.
Blood timeout here on the field. They sent linebacker Jack Bjorg off the field as he had a little bit of color on his elbow. I didn't think they waited for you to come back into the game. I thought you had to.
Well, it's an interesting one. They're looking for a sub or possibly a timeout. If you burn a timeout, sometimes that can save you, but in this case, there's something going on. Refs are coming over to check it out as well.
So they'll tape up Bjorg. Those turf cuts, they can hurt.
They can, and they last a long time once you're into a season of play. If it happens early on, it just never really heals up. And so they've got that elastic tape out there. Johnny on the spot, and they got 30 seconds apparently. And so they're going to get this wrapped up, so get him back on the field. I'm sure that's why they're waiting for this one. So we'll see what they have and see if he's the answer to this defense who needs to get a stop here on Saskatchewan so they don't go down a couple scores early.
Fresh set of sticks for Saskatchewan at the Alberta 34. Going to the air again. Looking right. They're going deep. Open behind a defender, but they couldn't quite find Smith-Windsor. If that would have been on the money, he would have walked into the end zone. But Saskatchewan looking at a 2nd and long instead.
You can see on the top of the screen, runs a little bit of a wheel route, fades to the outside, and then just keeps going down the sideline. Again, using that team speed on offense to go deep. Just missed, as you'd mentioned, and we'll see if they take another shot here or look for the first down on 2nd and 10.
Play fake. We'll go to the outside. They were looking in the direction of Smith-Windsor again. Couldn't quite find the connection. Ball's on the 34 here. So not sure if this will be a 41-yard field goal or if Saskatchewan's just going to punt it away. This would be a long one.
It would be a long one, but again, if you've got a leg in your kicker, you take those chances or you play for field position. Again, if Alberta is not finding a solution. Playing that field position battle, being patient for the points could be the answer. It does look like they got their kicker out there. It was exactly 41, as you had mentioned, that they're lining up for. So we'll see if we got 41 yards in this young leg.
Ty Gorniak, he's had an extra point so far. Went through the middle of the uprights, went through the back of the end zone. This is a long one from 41. Kick is up. Oh, plenty of leg on it. And it's right through. Boy, that might have been good from 50.
Yeah, lots of leg there. Great kick, solid contact. Everything worked well, as we had talked about earlier. And Saskatchewan jumps out to a 10-0 lead. But win, really, for Alberta, considering how deep Saskatchewan got. To hold them to that field goal attempt was good. But, you know, as we've seen before, you don't want to get down too far in these games because sometimes the clock ticks away and you don't get the point. So Alberta is going to need to find a way to move the ball here and convert on a drive to get some points on the board, to get some momentum.
So Alberta going to start at their own 35. And they had a chance early on in the game. Deep in Saskatchewan territory, they threw an interception. And then since then, not a lot for this Team Alberta offense. They're going to pick up some positive yards on first down here as Marcus Williams falls forward for a gain of 7 or 8.
Marcus just proven to be the go-to guy, running out of that slot, little shifty back, kind of like the Danny Amendolas, Julian Edelmans of the world down in the NFL. Just a short, quick back, good route runner.
Flag in the backfield here as well. It's going to go against Alberta, so scratch that. Gain of 8 turns into a loss of 10, and it'll be a 1st and 20 after the holding call. So a costly penalty here on Team Alberta with 1.5 minutes left in this first quarter. You start walking backwards, giving the ball back to Saskatchewan, Rob, and you're getting yourself in a deep hole here early.
They are, yep.
So McFall with a lot of yards to get in front of him. 1st and 20. Empty backfield, they're going to go to the air. Quickly looks right, and it's intercepted again! Chase Murray returns it just inside the 30, and another interception for Saskatchewan.
Well, great hands catch by the DB. You'll see, looking over there, he overthrows him. It's high and behind him, and you can just see that mistake cost him dearly. So now twice going for a mid-range pass, just unable to deliver it to the spot where receiver was open. It beat him then, but again, just floated up in behind him, and DB took advantage, and Saskatchewan's poised inside the 30.
Saskatchewan's in field goal range already. They were good from 41 on their last drive. They've hit an 88-yarder already. They're looking for a touchdown here. Quick screen play out to the right. Not a big gain, but positive yards regardless for Ambrose Abiara.
Or we've been seeing that screenplay run by a number of teams pretty much all week long. Again, always looking to set up that screen and go, so teams are going to have to be aware of that, and I'm sure they are. They've seen it plenty. But again, good first down production for Saskatchewan.
Ball the 25-yard line. About 5.5 yards to go here for Saskatchewan. Looking to the right. Going to the end zone. Is it caught? Yes! Touchdown Saskatchewan! Ambrose Abiara!
Well, and great throw, keeping him in bounds. You can see it's just a speed route. He's taking a chance. Again, DB turns his head, can't catch up to him. Good hands catch, reaching up high. It was critical for that. Didn't let the ball come down, so he reached up high to draw that in. And again, Saskatchewan strikes again.
Domination from Saskatchewan to open up this game. 2 seconds left in the first quarter. And an extra point away from Ty Gorniak from taking a 17-point lead.
And 17 it is, and a deficit for Alberta. Working to get out of it is going to be their kickoff return team, looking for a spark, looking for a big play to get some energy and momentum back. But they've got their work cut out ahead for them as we wrap up the quarter in just a couple seconds. Likely the last play barring a penalty, but we will see. And Alberta needs to find a way to get things on the move.
Returners backed up onto their own goal line. You know Gorniak has a leg. And Team Alberta needs a spark. Boots away from Gorniak. This one's going to go into the end zone here. Fielded on the goal line. Ball sitting on the goal line now as Williams can't quite get control of it. Going to get a good return here, though, out across the 20 with multiple flags on the Alberta 10. And whatever return Alberta had might be coming back.
Well, yeah, a couple things going on there. We had a huge block in the middle. You'll see coming down here. Let's take a watch. You can see there, big contact. Both guys, just big contact between both of them. And then there's a couple other things happening here. And even on the tackle, it looks like there's some, he's getting twisted, masks going around. Very physical on that kickoff return. But in the end, they're going to be marching it back towards the goal line. And Alberta is going to be working from their 10-yard line.
Everything going against Team Alberta here. Barring a flag, this will be the last play of the first quarter. Last one would have been, but play can't end on a flag. Quarter can't end on a flag, rather. New quarterback into the game for Team Alberta here. Phineas Gortson. They're going to hand it off to the right. Big gain on first down here for Team Alberta. Lots of running room for Carson Graham. And that'll wrap up the first quarter as we flip sides of the field.
And you can see the movement of the offensive line and sealing that edge. Again, good blockers, downfield receivers doing their job, creating some space. So good first down production for Alberta as they flip ends.
So, Rob, through a quarter, Saskatchewan up by 17. What's gone right for them? It's everything.
A lot of points. Their speed is clearly taken advantage. They've been taking advantage of their speed on the opening touchdown, and then they go right after them. After they kind of gained, they were losing the field position battle early. That big play busted that out, and then after that, they kind of held field position battle, which again has created another 10 points for them. But not willing or not hesitating to go deep and use their athleticism and speeds on offense. Alberta needs to find a solution with their offense on the field.
Second down and 3 to open up the second quarter. And I feel like Team Alberta might start needing some of these. Handoff up the middle, goes nowhere. That's that big nose tackle over the middle. Carlos MacArthur from the Miller Moradors out in Regina.
Yeah, just shedding the block. You could see right in the middle of the screen, the offensive lineman just let his feet stop. He got off the block and was right in the hole, which appeared to be open, that he filled quickly to negate any gain there. And now Alberta, once again, looking to turn the ball back over to the Saskatchewan offense, which right now has been moving the ball.
Team Alberta back out to punt it away once again. Cielo, the punter. Clean snap and a good boot here. Angle towards the sideline. Gonna go out in the air. Might have bounced just before, and there's a flag on the Alberta 30. That was Duxbury on the punt, rather.
Okay, good job punting it to the sideline, angling it out. Just again, looks like the penalty is going to push them back a little further. So again, not allowing this speedy Saskatchewan team to get a return. And again, penalties just helping Alberta out. So big penalty, moving them back quite a ways. See if Saskatchewan can keep their mojo going and move this ball down the field and find out if Alberta's defense has an answer.
So good field position flip there for the Team Alberta special teams unit. Had the ball around their own 20. Saskatchewan now going to snap it at their own 38. Up 17 already, and they're going deep again. Looking for Conte. Fingertip catch and another big play for Team Saskatchewan. And Kyle Conte does it again.
Well, just a little bit of a wide receiver screen and go. Again, we've seen that lots. Again, good job covering it, just not tight enough. And a perfectly thrown ball to his outside shoulder. And great adjustment to just fade into that and secure the catch off the fingertips. You can see there, great shot by our camera guy, really just reeling that in on his outside shoulder. That's exactly what you want to see between quarterback and receiver.
Saskatchewan moving the ball once again on the Alberta 25. Flip that field position back real quick. Quarterback draw going nowhere.
Well, already you can see Saskatchewan then coming to something different, but what you're seeing in the secondary is you're seeing the secondary starting to fall off a little bit. They're getting beat deep, so there's going to be an opportunity for Saskatchewan to take some short to intermediate shots here because that secondary knows they've got the speed to go over the top, which we've seen on display already today.
That was Jack Bjord forcing the loss of 2. And the 2nd and 12 for Saskatchewan. Gonna look towards Conte on the sweep. This might be a trick play. He's looking in the air. He's got an open receiver. Touchdown Saskatchewan. Sullivan, Smith, Windsor from Kyle Conte. He can do it all.
Well, and everything's going well for Saskatchewan. They had the man in behind coverage. You can see the sweep, so backers are coming up in pursuit. He just bubbles, gets himself a little bit of depth, and the receiver from the far side of the field left wide open by Alberta for the walk-in touchdown.
On a dime from Conte as well. An extra point away from a 24-point lead. And it's good. Well, Rob, we've seen Saskatchewan dominate at every level of football throughout the past few years. And at this U-18 Western Showcase, they dominate the first game and up 24 already here early in the second quarter. What are they feeding the kids out there in Saskatchewan? I'm from there, and I didn't turn out like one of them.
I don't know. They got a lot of athletes, well coached. Obviously, I mean, we've got great coaches pouring into all these programs here, but Saskatchewan's finding a way to get it done here, both at this level, and we saw them, as the top-ranked team in the Canada Cup as well. So, you talk about 2 great football teams coming out of Saskatchewan at this age category, and a lot of kids are playing football in Saskatchewan. There's a lot of passion there, a lot of pride, as we've talked about. So, Alberta's going to respond. We are not short of talented athletes in Alberta, and they will need to dig deep, find a way to respond, and just slowly claw their way back into this. Keeping away the mental mistakes. The offense obviously needs to find a way to get the ball moving. This defense is going to only get tired as the day goes on. Again, this is a short week of football for these guys. So again, a couple games in only less than a week. So they're going to have to find a way here on kickoff return.
Gorniak, bouncing kick, settles just in bounds. And Team Alberta with a chance to return. Spin move by Williams makes one guy miss, won't pick up too much extra yards as he's taken down inside his own 25, and the Team Alberta offense is back on the field.
That was like a little pitching wedge there on the kick. Just drive it deep, checked it up on the turf, and just sat there for a while. So again, good job giving your returner or your cover guys an opportunity to get downfield and negate the dynamic returner that Alberta has. So we'll see. Their offense is on the field. They're talking on the sideline. I could hear them over talking. They got to stay on the field and put a drive together, give their defense a little bit of a break, and get some points here, being down early.
They'll start with the drive from their own 23. Gordson still in a quarterback. Quick pitch and catch over to the running back, Cale Sundquist. And Alberta able to pick up a first down. Maybe a little short, actually.
A little short, but good little swing pass. You can see coming out of the backfield. Quarterback just waits long enough, and then out it goes. We've got blockers downfield, try to create space. You want to see him actually when you're carrying the ball. You want to read your blocker's backside. If he blocks them in, you want to cut out. If he blocks them the other way, but that's a read that you want to make.
Quarterback sneak over the middle. Going to be close here. See, one official has him spotted in first down territory, and they will give it to him. So Alberta moving the sticks once again. Well, you want to flip this game here, Rob, and even if you don't put up points here, you need to put some sort of a drive together just to give your defense a bit of a breather.
Well, you definitely need a breather, but you do need to get points as well. I mean, this is This is quickly getting out of hand. And Saskatchewan, like you said, is dominating this, and at some point you got to play for some points here. And so Alberta's going to have to be disciplined. They're going to have to move this ball. They're facing a 2nd and 10 right here after, again, just a missed throw on that one. Again, he's got to hit his targets when the opportunities are there. But again, you got a tall receiver out here. We'll see what they have in store. It's 2nd and 10.
That one intended for Bilal Begovic. Flag on the snap, and another interception! This time it's Brady Pratt picking off the pass, and we'll have to check the flag on the field. It was on the snap. Right now, the Team Saskatchewan offense is running onto the field.
I think it may have been a receiver offside. Yeah, it looks like that penalty is going to be declined. Again, throwing the ball right into coverage, unfortunately. Again, as you can see here in the great shot there, rolling out. Again, just throws it out there. Again, coverage was tight. He's really got to lead him to the sideline or take that shot deep. Again, I thought that shot deep would have been there again, but now we've got too many interceptions. We have 3 so far, and that is just not going to get it done here against a very strong and fast Saskatchewan team.
Saskatchewan looking to put more points on the board here in Alberta territory. Running play up the middle, and that one not really going anywhere. So if you're Team Saskatchewan here, you know that 35-point margin means run time. Are you starting to think about you're dominating the game, you're up 3 possessions, any sort of score here, and you'll be up by 4? Do you even think about the clock at all, or is there just way too much time?
No, there's too much time to be thinking about the clock. What you want to do is you want to execute. You want to execute each play, and if it means scoring quickly, it means scoring quickly. Again, your play calling can dictate that a little bit, but you want to get a mix in. These boys have come to play a full game. They're going to continue to play, and they're going to continue to dominate if that's what they have. So Alberta needs to find an answer.
Dangerous pass.
And there it is.
Interception. Team Alberta going to get it at their own 50. What a catch by the defensive back, Caden Ray, from the Archbishop Jordan Scotts.
Right here at home, just playing on that home field. Again, breaking hard on the ball. Ball floats just a little bit, but again, great awareness to see that he had the chance. Because again, he goes for that, and it's a reception. He's off and running, but great job of breaking on the ball, securing that interception for Alberta, which is exactly what Alberta needed to get back into this one.
Caden Ray getting an interception on his own home field. Boy, Team Saskatchewan jumped there. No flags, though, on the play. They're going to end up finding Kingston Friedman. Hard tackle at the end and a pickup of 7.
A good little quick route, but again, you'll see here, he's throwing the receiver upfield. As he makes his break, you want to have him come down. When he reaches upfield, that's what's cost him a little bit. It's just those missed throws have led to interceptions by Alberta, so he's just got to be on the money. Again, sometimes that happens when your quarterback and receiver don't play together very long, which is the case with a lot of these teams.
Booting out to the right. Alberta's going to take a deep shot. They got a receiver open! No way! Is that caught?
Hands catch, securing the ball. He's been waiting for that all day. He's gone deep on a few routes. They haven't delivered, but going up, catching it, and securing it all the way to the ground. Let's get a shot of this replay here. Because again, a lot of contact happening when he caught that. That's a great job. Let's take a quick look here. Hands up in the air, pulling it into his body, full security of the ball. Great play by the Alberta receiver to bring that one down.
Kingston Friedman, once again, another big play for this Team Alberta offense. Oh, wow. Pressure right away from that Saskatchewan defensive line. Scott Adamko delivered the hit on Gordson as he was throwing it, and that one sails over everybody.
Well, what that pressure creates is it doesn't allow the quarterback to step into the throw, and that sailed high. Not sure if it was a miscommunication where he thought he'd be running the fade for a jump ball on the wide side, or if it just got away from him because of that pressure. But defense brought some pressure and just forced that throw to go errant into the turf. So we'll see what they have here on 2nd and 10. They really need to get a major.
They can get a first down without getting into the end zone. They're going to run it to the right side here. Maybe looking to catch Saskatchewan off guard, but they've got everything covered. A gain of about 2. And the kick team coming onto the field for Team Alberta.
Little surprised about the play calling again, going for it on second down with a run. I don't think that's bad, but maybe he was thinking, if he can get 4 or 5 on the run by catching them, he's then going for it on third down. Because I think early on, I know you want to get some points, but they do need to get some touchdowns. Field goals will not close the gap on Saskatchewan fast enough as they are continuing to score points quickly.
Duxbury. Hold is good from the 19. And Duxbury splits the uprights. First points of the game for Team Alberta as they cut the Saskatchewan lead to 21.
So turning the interception into 3 points, at least gets them on the board. And now we'll see what that defense has for this high-powered Saskatchewan offense, which doesn't seem to be stopped other than that last interception by Alberta.
So the ball's going to be put down at the Saskatchewan 35.
We'll see. They're kind of having that conversation.
So they will choose to scrimmage the ball. So over 3 minutes, you can choose for their team to kick it. Normally, though, teams will just take the ball, leave the most time on the clock they can get, and like we've said, anything can happen on special teams at this level as well.
So your choice at this point is you figure out the kicker, the cover team, whether you like your return game against the cover team or you prefer just getting your offense on the field. And obviously Saskatchewan feeling confident in their offense ability, and they've shown that today so far. We'll see what they have here on this drive.
Flory to the outside and can't quite connect with the receiver.
Kind of in and out of his hands. Contact was there. We'll get a good shot here on the replay. You can see ball hits the hands, kind of is bobbled. And again, that's why as defenders, you want to, even if the ball's arrived, play through it. Because if there's any type of bobble, you can disrupt it enough. And that's what happened there. Facing 2nd and 10. A big stop is needed by the defense. Saskatchewan trying to get some more points.
That was Jack Bjorgen coverage again. Deep over the middle. They got a receiver open. It's caught at the Alberta 50. Another big play. Tanner Donovel in the Saskatchewan offense moving the chains again.
So Saskatchewan finding the answer, and you can see the receiver going down the seam and then breaking to the corner route here on the short side of the field, or the wide side, our near side of the field, connecting on that corner route, and free safety not getting over in time. So again, seeing some man coverage here by the Alberta defense and finding different ways to expose defenders.
Ball down at the Alberta 49. Hand off and a run to the right. And if there's anything for Team Alberta that they've been really good on today, Saskatchewan has not got much going on the run.
Well, that time it was number 97, Ethan Thompson, from here in Sherwood Park at Bev Facey, making a great play at the point of attack, throwing his offensive guy that's blocking him to the ground and just slowing up the back with some contact to allow his defense to come and finish that off. But good play up front by not giving up some ground yards. But again, defending the air is their challenge right now. We'll see what Saskatchewan does on 2nd and 10.
Flory. Play action. And just out of the reach of the receiver. He was looking towards Gage Taylor. And that should send the punting unit out, see if they can pin Alberta deep.
Well, Alberta last drive had the answer in regards to the interception. This time they get their offense off the field, and so Saskatchewan's going to have to punt this away. So great job by the defense to answer what's been a challenge today, giving up 24 points early in this game. Now we're closing out this half. They're electing to play the field position game, and we'll see if Alberta has a response on offense again.
Looks like it's the quarterback Flory back to punt. That's a pretty decent one away. Bounces just outside the 20. And Team Alberta is going to touch it. It was, once again, Bjorgen on the play. Smart play by him there. As he could have touched it, he could have fumbled it, he could have done whatever he wanted. It was going to be a no yards regardless.
Well, yeah, and you want to see those returners get upfield and get that. Again, a lot of hang time on that punt, and you catch that on the run. great opportunities are there, but they once again seem a little hesitant to charge on those. And you can read the punt as a punt returner. You kind of read the flight of the ball, and some will carry, and again, a tight spiral with a tip coming over. The ball typically carries through the air, and again, with this new style of kick we've seen at all levels of football, this reverse spin on a ball similar to a kickoff. They like punting it like that because it hangs up in the air, allows your cover team to get downfield. In that case, hang up quite a ways there.
So Team Alberta with 2.5 minutes left in the quarter, looking for some more points, and that throw sailed over the head of Dawson Hunter.
Again, had him by a couple steps on the out route there. Again, you got the outside guy running a go route, and then we got the out. Again, rolling out to that, just let it sail on him. So you're going to want to bring that down, so give his guys an opportunity. But again, a little hesitant maybe because the interception thrown. Again, the secondary of Saskatchewan has been all over the ball today. So again, a little hesitation maybe if it's a tight window. Quarterbacks are erring on the side of throwing it away. So we'll see if they have an answer here on 2nd and 10.
Alberta needs 10 or else they'll be punting it right back into Saskatchewan possession. Pressure right up the middle. And Gortson goes down.
Well, and great pressure from Scott Adamko, just coming up the middle, forcing the quarterback to step up. You can see there he steps up. He didn't get the sack, but he's the one that created the movement in the pocket, which allowed his teammates to come in and finish that off.
So ends up going as a loss of 1. They needed 10 the other way, and the punting team is on the field for Alberta. We know that Sullivan Smith-Windsor has been dangerous today. Hasn't gotten too much of a chance to return kicks with all the interceptions, and they've punted it out of bounds as well. This one's going to be blocked! And Saskatchewan falls on it inside the 15. Chase Murray with his second big play of the game. And what field position for Saskatchewan?
Well, another big special teams play. You can just see laid out, get the hands out there in front, and then gets contact with it and goes and jumps on it. Again, special teams winning in all phases of the game today, and that is showing on the scoreboard. And they're looking to add to that.
So in the red zone already. Ball's put down at the 14. Flory looking straight left. Conte makes a man miss, and he's into the end zone again. Another touchdown for Conte. And Saskatchewan has taken a 30-3 lead.
Well, they are not taking time to score, just a little while. Again, a screen to the slot back. Blockers out in front, and again, that little burst through the gap there just again gets them to the end zone. So hungry for more points, and Saskatchewan cashes in after the blocked punt.
So I believe that's the third touchdown of the game for Conte. He's only made his way into the end zone twice, but the wide receiver threw for one as well. The extra point is up and good. Saskatchewan with a 31-3 lead.
So the mental battle is here for Team Alberta. How can they stay mentally tuned in and focused to play this one out? With a minute 39 on the clock here in the first half, Saskatchewan has found a way to put up a lot of points, and that's a tough deficit to overcome with any time left. But more importantly, Saskatchewan's got to worry about the next few plays, and they got to execute here. And again, going into half, they're going to want to have a conversation about that mental toughness that they need to have. They got to get a little bit of a reset in their minds. They've got to physically go out and battle for the rest of the way here.
Anything can happen in Canadian football. At this field, I was doing a game one time between Sal and Harry Ainley, two of the top local teams in the city. And it was about this at halftime. Ainley was up on Sal, and you're thinking Sal at the time more of a running team, and thinking this game's over, maybe going to run time. This is an onside kick here from Saskatchewan, and Alberta just caught on top of it. Anyways, to quickly finish my story, it was 31-3, ended up being tied with 30 seconds left, so anything can happen.
Anything can happen. This is a strong Saskatchewan team. Alberta's obviously going to need to find a solution, and maybe they can build some momentum here. Getting a little short field because of the short kick recovered by Alberta. Good heads-up play by the returner over there, or kind of a blocker, or wingman there on the kickoff return. He heads up play, catching that cleanly. Again, a receiver out there. That's why you put him out there, in case they decide to catch you sleeping on the kickoff return team.
Gertson flushed out to the right, has some running room in front of him, and slides down just short of midfield. So why the onside kick there for Saskatchewan? Are you just looking to get it into that runtime territory before the half?
Well, I think Saskatchewan's just looking to put it to Alberta. I mean, that's your approach in football games, is you want to use the different things you have in place, and there's an opportunity that, again, feels like they can take the risk, maybe get an opportunity to keep their offense and get some more points before the half. Because as you said, no lead is too secure until the game's over.
Run up the middle.
He's going to get about half of what he needs, and so they are going to be facing a third down. No doubt, I think at this point they're going to go for it. Obviously, converting this is going to be important because Saskatchewan can score quickly, but Alberta definitely looking for more points going into the half.
That was Sundquist on the carry. Look, he might have fell forward, but that knee touched down before the fall forward, so the ball is spotted 2 yards short. Sundquist in the backfield again. And they have a receiver open on the right side. Spinning away from a tackle and churning out some extra yards is Dawson Hunter. And Alberta's going to move the sticks here with 48 seconds left in the half.
Well, Hunter doing a good job of running the route to the sticks. You can see he's about 1.5 yards or 2 past the first down marker. Drops his hips, shuts it down, turns back to the quarterback. Timing route, gets there on time, and allows this drive to continue.
Timeout here for Team Alberta. You know, good to see no quit in this Team Alberta team as well, and it's something I've been impressed with. Commentating football at the high school level recently, and I know as a ball player sometimes you get down early and you can kind of catch yourself not focused, but it doesn't really ever seem to happen in this sport, especially at this level where, you know, players are out here, they're representing their high school, but they're representing their province as well, Rob, and a lot of pride on the line here, no matter what the score is.
Well, because of the nature of football being a contact sport, your focus is absolutely imperative. If you go out and you're not focused, you know, at any given play, contact can happen, injuries can happen. So that focus is important. It's coached and it's learned by these players.
Pass over the middle is caught. Finding a space over the middle was Spencer White. Another first down for Team Alberta. And they're moving the ball well within a minute.
Well, great job throwing him into the gap, and you can see the space there. He throws it to the space before he gets there, and that's what the Alberta quarterbacks need to do, is need to hit the guys in the gaps they're running to and not throwing it to where they are. They've been caught a few times with INTs earlier, but they're on the move now after that completion.
Huge pressure, and they had a receiver open, but with about 7 blitzing there, it forced a quick throwaway there from Gertson, and it was just out of the reach of the receiver.
Well, you can see the stunt coming again. They don't pick up the stunt, and we whiffed on a block inside, so guys right in his face. He doesn't get that pressure. He probably has a few seconds more to throw that ball and deliver it to where he wanted to. Again, with the receiver wide open, could have been a big play, but the pressure made up for it, and they go right in behind that pressure. And that's what you teach quarterbacks. You see pressure coming, throw in behind, they just got to hit it.
Saskatchewan loading up the box here, 8 players in it. Quick wheel route to the outside, and delivering a hit at just the right time was Rogan Pipko, I believe. Tough to catch a number from out here. So might have been Chase Murray again, actually. And yeah. Alberta's going to have to settle for a field goal attempt.
I think he may have been out of bounds. We'll see here again. Having to jump outside would have been a real tough catch. Maybe getting that 1 foot dragged in if he would have been able to secure it with his hands. But Alberta opting for the field goal attempt, see if they can get a few more points.
It's Duxbury out to kick it. We know he has the leg. There was a little bit of wind at his back earlier. Looking out at the flags now, looks like if there's any wind, it's at his back, but there's none at all, really. Kick is up from Duxbury, and he'll split the uprights again. Picking up his second field goal today, and the Saskatchewan lead is cut to 25.
So with 15 seconds left, Saskatchewan sounds like, from what I'm hearing from their coaches, they're going to go with kickoff return. looking to break that big one maybe and see if they have an opportunity now with Alberta's perspective. I'm not sure I'd be kicking it to their best return man, maybe a squib kick with only 15 seconds left, something mid-range, just not get it to that return or allow your cover team to get downfield. Maybe not quite as risky as the short kick that we saw from Saskatchewan, but again, they got a field goal going into the half. If they can keep it there, gives them a little bit to build on here and try to cut into this lead as we get into the second half.
There's been some long touchdowns on the afternoon already for Saskatchewan. And yeah, it's Smith, Windsor, and Conte back to return. They've both scored touchdowns. Like I said, they've actually connected for a touchdown. So probably want to keep it away from those two, standing back on their own 10. And they are going to go deep.
They are kicking it to them. We'll see.
Angled kick out of bounds. And that is going to be a flag. Wonder if that might have been intentional there.
Yeah, it could have been. Again, not giving up too much field position, but keeping it out of their hands. But, their second line of 5 guys that Saskatchewan has, again, all good athletes, all there to block for their playmakers in the back end of their return game. But definitely a thought that maybe, hey, angle it out, don't give them an easy return.
So if Saskatchewan would have just taken the ball, they would have had it at the 35. Remember, clock doesn't start ticking until Saskatchewan touches the ball and the kick returns. So they'll get the ball at their own 40 instead. So only a difference of 5 yards. And looks like Saskatchewan is just going to knee out the half. Little interesting here from Saskatchewan. Thought they might have tried to set up a screen or something. They've had some long touchdowns today, but...
Well, clearly it's a sign that they're confident of what this half has looked like. They're happy about what it is. Don't want to give an opportunity for maybe a big play to go the other way. Again, could look for more points. But being confident about the first half, obviously, with the scoreboard showing that, and happy to go in with the lead that they have.
So now Team Alberta going into the locker room here. What do you do? I mean, looks like Saskatchewan is the faster team out there on the field. They were able to get a little bit of positive momentum from their offense at the end of the half, settling for 2 field goals though. And, anything can happen in Canadian football, but a lot of adjustments have to be made here for the team in blue.
Well, they definitely felt that prairie wave from Saskatchewan early on in the game, and they've settled down a little bit. The defense a little bit better in the last quarter, and the offense able to move, at least get some yards out of their offense. But, to be overwhelmed early, obviously the defense was on the field a bunch, giving up some touchdowns, and the offense not buying them much rest time by staying on the field. So, really, I mean, this is a game pretty much dominated by Saskatchewan in all 3 phases. And Alberta's got to have a reset. And so as a coach, you go in, you talk to your guys, you say, okay, it's a reset, and we got to play it one series at a time. Obviously both the offense and defense and special teams have some responsibilities in that. They got to shore up. They can't afford turnovers. And again, turnovers have been killing them. We've had blocked punts. We've had, interceptions galore from Saskatchewan, and that's just killer. They're drive killers, and there's momentum builders for the other team. And so they got to clean up on the turnovers, and they got to find a way to attack this defense of Saskatchewan to move the ball down the field and not risk more turnovers.
Saskatchewan with a 31-6 lead headed into the locker rooms. They've got 24 minutes left to fend off Team Alberta in the hunt for a gold medal. Welcome back to Emerald Hills here in Sherwood Park, Alberta. Gold medal game of the Western U-18 Showcase. Team Saskatchewan dominated their first game of the tournament, now dominating their second as well, up 31-6 here to open up the second half here. Connor Toffin and Rob Harrod on this IC Live Procast. Been a good week of football here in Alberta with some smoke in the air, kind of dispersed. Probably the best it's looked really for the last week at this point. But things looking a little smoky for Team Alberta, down by 25 coming into the second half here, Rob.
Yeah, they need to clear the smoke out of their heads, and they just need to get dialed in here. It's going to be an important early goings here in the third quarter. They got to set the tone and let Saskatchewan know they are here to play this one out. And of course, Saskatchewan is going to continue to come on strong. They are a dominant team so far in this game. Alberta looking to flip that script. Saskatchewan looking to run away with this one.
25-point lead. And Alberta's going to get first possession here in the second half. Feel like they pretty much need points on every drive they have the ball at this point. They've been able to convert on 2 field goals and had some positive signs on offense later in the half. Not able to capitalize by getting into the end zone yet.
Yeah, they're going to need some majors if they want to close this gap.
So Saskatchewan getting ready to boot it away. Always a big difference in these Canadian football games of special teams, especially at the high school level. Ty Gorniak has been a big difference today for Team Saskatchewan as he boots it away all the way down to the Alberta 1, where it's taken by Jackson Sterling, looking to take it out wide. Now cuts up back towards the middle, spins off of a tackle, and goes down just inside of his own 30. Good return, all things considered.
Yeah, you know, the strength of the high school kicker that can put you on your goal line to start your returns. 30 yards is great, and so good job returning. Again, the kicking game playing a part in this game we've seen in different ways. Here comes Alberta's offense with hopefully a little bit of energy that they can get a drive going here early on in the third.
It's usually first few plays out of the locker room scripted, so we'll see what Team Alberta's offense has in store for us. It's interested to see who would be the quarterback coming out of the locker rooms. They're going back to Carson McFall, who started the game for Alberta through a couple of picks. They're going to open it up with a run to the right side. And not much there for Mateo Asiello.
No, good job with a little sidestep in the backfield because he made something out of nothing. You can see here on the exchange, right in the backfield, he's got to make a quick jump cut back to the inside to get even just a few yards. But again, with regards to quarterbacks, sometimes they just play them by quarter. So, you know, we've got each quarterback has gotten a quarter in. We'll see. I'm sure we'll see them both here from now to the end of this one.
Obviously, a tournament like this, good to see both guys getting some play time in. McFall. Nobody in the backfield. Quickly finds Asiello, but couldn't quite reel in the catch. Would have been about 3 yards short of the first down, but would have been able to possibly make a man miss there.
Being a shifty back, he's really got to secure that. He kind of sees the defense really in pursuit, and I think that's where maybe he took the eyes off the ball, couldn't secure it. And again, that's, you know, a guy you want to give the ball in the flat like that can make a guy miss, but in that case didn't quite secure it before he used his speed to get the first down. So Alberta punting early here, not what they wanted to do coming out of the half.
So a 2-and-out to open up the third quarter for Team Alberta. Duxbury to punt it. And a big return opening up here for Saskatchewan. Smith Windsor all the way to the Alberta 35. That's a net difference of 2 yards.
Exactly why sometimes as an offensive coordinator you want to go for it. A head coach keeps your reasoning, but again, no difference there. Saskatchewan poised early to get the first points in this second half.
They've been kicking it away from Smith Windsor a lot of the times today, and you see why. Big return there, and Saskatchewan up by 25. Probably already in field goal range. Well, they are in field goal range. And a big run over the middle. There was one area that wasn't really great for Saskatchewan in that first half. It was the run. good start there for Komarnicki, who picks up 15.
And that's what you call downhill running. You can see the line getting downfield on bodies, a double team at the point of attack, and then breaking one tackle, running over the second guy. Not only is it a great run, but it's also a great momentum grabber for Saskatchewan as they get energized by the big run.
Look into the air. Quickly to the right. Conte nearly able to split the tackles. It'll go for about a gain of 7.
Well, if you don't have two guys finishing tackles on Conte, he will get to the end zone. We've seen that today. So, again, great job of corralling him and keeping him at bay. Again, great gain of 7 yards. But, again, good job tackling.
2nd and a long 3 now for the Saskatchewan offense. Flory hands it off, and nothing over the middle. That Team Alberta D-line eating up a lot of space between the tackles, and Saskatchewan's going to trot out their kicking unit.
Well, considering field goal positions where Saskatchewan got that ball, basically where Alberta ended with it there, holding them to a field goal is a small win for a defense that hasn't found a way to keep them out of the end zone. So small win for Alberta. And well, again, the weight goes back onto the offense, which is struggling to score.
Gorniak setting up from 23 yards out. He's been good from 41 already today. This might be nothing for him. Looking to extend the Saskatchewan lead to 28. Hold was bobbled for a second, but Gorniak able to kick it right through the uprights. And a 28-point lead for Gorniak and Team Saskatchewan.
What it looks like, based on the leg of Gorniak, is dictating that Alberta, again, has got their offense on the field. So sometimes you want to have that choice, but I think that choice has now been taken away after field goals because of the strong leg. And even with a great 30-yard return, you're getting it on your own 30 after a return, so as we saw last time. So opting to take it on the 35, good choice for Alberta. But again, the impact that a strong kicker has on a game.
McFall has Carson Graham next to him in the backfield. McFall, feeling the pressure, steps up in the pocket, flushed out right and tripped up. That's Green Edmonds from the Bishop James Mahoney Saints out in Martinsville. Picks up the sack and gets that Alberta offense behind the chains again.
Yeah, once again, not a great way to start. I mean, good play call, just unable to find someone downfield and escape the pressure of the pocket. But again, now facing a 2nd and 13. Going to have to convert if they want to keep this drive going.
Long ways to go for this Team Alberta offense. They're going to set up a screen to the right side. Deacon Sterna reels it in, looking for some extra yards. Maybe able to get back to the original line of scrimmage on the 1st and 10. There is a flag on the play, so we'll have to check that.
I think the flag came on the illegal block again, kind of getting them in the back, and that's what I think the flag called. So that'll be declined, and the return team for Saskatchewan will be on the field.
So this ball is going to go even further back. They're going to decline that. So punting unit back on the field. Duxbury to kick it away, and Smith Windsor out to return, see if they kick it to him.
And I noticed Duxbury out of Strathcona High School here in Edmonton is listed as a kicker. So we had talked about whether teams keep kickers on the roster, and Alberta electing to do that.
Smith Windsor trying to turn it out wide, looking for the corner. He might have it across midfield, and getting just enough was Carson Graham on the tackle. And once again, a net difference of maybe about 10.
Well, it's going to be actually a negative net difference because late in came the flag on the horse collar tackle. But look at the speed, just again, a little hesitation. Beat the edge man to the sideline. Again, you can see there, grabbing him, pulling him down from behind with that jersey is what's cost them. So they are going in the wrong direction here in the third quarter. Alberta struggling to fight off this Saskatchewan team.
So if you got a dangerous kick returner like Smith Windsor, he's on the outside. You're probably not sure if there's anyone else behind you. Are you okay with your coverage team horse collaring him to secure that tackle? You give up 15 yards, but at least he's not going in the end zone.
Well, the tough thing is he's in position to make a decent legal tackle, which again, adding the 15 makes it really tough. And here we go, off to the races again.
Saskatchewan, another big run. Brody Komarnicki tackled just outside the 10.
You know, in all phases of the game, Saskatchewan is treating like this like a track meet. And they have athletes and sprinters all over the place that are just exposing the defense with their speed and exposing special teams with that same speed and the same talent.
Saskatchewan can get a first down without getting into the end zone. Ball put down to the 11. Running play out to the left. Komarnicki again. And this time he's met in the backfield. And once again, there was a flag on the play right at the snap.
Again, that time speed getting matched by the defensive lineman, chasing him down before he can get going. And that's often what you need to do with teams with like high speed like Saskatchewan has here, is get in there early. If you get them early, you got a chance. If you don't, and you give them the space, as we saw in that last return, not much of a chance.
Flag was on Alberta for an offsides. So a tackle for loss turns into a 1st and 5 for Saskatchewan from the 6-yard line. Knocking on the doorstep of the end zone once again. Looking to go up by 34. Handoff. Komarnicki reaching. Is he in? Waiting for a sign. He's in. Touchdown, Saskatchewan.
Yeah, Saskatchewan obviously doing damage in the first half through the air and on special teams. You know, again, the momentum's in their favor, and now they're taking a physical domination over Alberta as they run the ball straight at them with these short down and distances. So again, penalties playing a part, but fatigue setting in even more with this defense who's been on the field a long time today.
Looking to make it a 35-point game is Gorniak. Ooh, and that one was tipped at the line, but it does end up going through.
Yeah, very odd trajectory of the ball, but just high enough to get over the goal post and inside the uprights. And Saskatchewan extends their lead now 41-6, and out comes their kickoff team. And Alberta's got to keep their heads high and being accomplished. I mean, it's an accomplishment in and of itself for these players to make this team and compete at this high level of high school football in the country. Again, tough game to be part of, but you got to continue to grind, you got to continue to work, show your durability, and show the people around that you're willing to fight to the very end, regardless of the score.
So head official having a talk with the Saskatchewan coaching staff right now. I believe once the Alberta offense jogs onto the field, we might be into runtime here. The rules can change in a tournament like this. In a regular high school game, 35 points is the mark.
Well, I do believe, I remember having this conversation in the Canada Cup earlier, or I guess last weekend. There is still that runtime clause in the regulations, and that would be Team or Football Canada regulations set out for these types of events. So we'll find out shortly if that's the case.
Funny enough, in the Canada Cup, it was Team Saskatchewan forcing a game into runtime in the opening round. Bit of an opening here down the sideline as Jackson Sterling is able to take it outside his own 25. And we are into runtime here, so this clock will stay ticking until, well, if Alberta can score. Once that lead is back within 35, I believe they'll stop the clock.
Yeah, and again, another great return by the return team, but the challenge is you got a kickoff going to the goal line once again. So, again, 28 yards on a return is really outstanding at most levels of football, but with the leg of this high school kicker putting him on the goal line each and every time, almost like clockwork, it comes down literally on the goal line.
Consistency off the leg of Ty Gorniak. So McFall trying to cut into this lead a little bit. Opening play is going to be a run up the middle that goes for a few. So call it a gain of about 2.5. Clock ticks across, 4 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. Quick screen out to the right. Reeled in by Bilal Bagovic. And another short gain there is going to be short of the sticks. And Alberta probably going to have to bring on that punting team again.
Well, in just a little bit of timing there, you can see block happening in front with the defender dropping deep, but unfortunately just not enough space, and that Saskatchewan defense continues to be a presence in the flats on those wide receiver screens, just limiting the gain and forcing a punt situation.
So last couple punts for Alberta have resulted in either a small change in net yardage or a negative change in net yardage. So we'll see if they elect to kick it away from Smith Windsor, who's standing just outside of his own 40, the dangerous Saskatchewan returner. And Team Alberta doesn't have the right personnel out right now, so not enough time to get a guy off the field, and they'll have to burn a timeout.
Well, and you don't want to be short a guy with these returners and the dynamic ability they have on return team, and of course you don't want to be taking penalties to make your field position worse. So burning a timeout here to save that piece, but we'll see. Regardless, Saskatchewan's going to be looking at good field position on this if they retain possession.
So quick water break here for the team in black and green. Closing in on another gold medal in the football province from the Prairies. Talked about it earlier, their Canada Cup team was going to play in a really interesting gold medal game against Team Quebec. They were defending champions, Saskatchewan was, and really not sure at all who would have won that. Saskatchewan was the talk of the town coming in, and they almost block another one. That punt going to travel, might have been tipped, bouncing back towards the Alberta sideline, and Smith Windsor somehow ends up recovering it just inside the Alberta 30.
Well, again, negative yards on a special teams punt for Alberta. Obviously, Saskatchewan taking full advantage with speed coming up there. So Alberta is going in the wrong direction on offense and on special teams, and the defense has got a short field to defend here against what's proven to be a very powerful offense in Saskatchewan.
So to finish the thought from earlier, it would have been a really interesting game if Saskatchewan was talking to town coming in, and Quebec was showing really well all week. They actually blew out Team Alberta in the semifinal game in the Canada Cup. Matchup I think everybody wanted to see. Unfortunately canceled due to the smoke yesterday. Saskatchewan able to find Brody Taylor for a good gain on first down. By the way, that Team Quebec, they had a receiver that was 6'8". Usually when you see a guy listed at 6'8", they can't really move too well. Yeah, he could move well. It was like halfway through the second quarter of their opening round game, and he already had like 115 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he didn't really need to play too much the rest of the way, if you could imagine that. There's some really impressive football talent growing up in Canada right now. And we've seen some of it on the field today. Quick pass out right, just behind the receiver. Taylor again.
Well, not a well-delivered ball. You can see it fluttering in there, kind of fails early and just drops into the turf. But Alberta coming flying up on that one pretty tight. So good response. But against Saskatchewan, facing a 3rd and 2 is going to be keeping their offense on the field here.
Need nearly a full 2 yards here. They have Jack McLeod in the backfield. Hoop fan hands it off. McLeod around the edge has enough for the first down. So there is a flag on the play.
We're going to see if that flag results in usually in the area of holding. You never know. Based on the Alberta bench, it looks like they're going to be moving him back. So that'll be moving them back, which is turning into possibly a field goal call for Saskatchewan. Looks like that's the case. Coach is opting to go with the field goal attempt. Now they've got moving back 10 yards, just looking for some more points here.
Move the ball back to the 34-yard line, so that would make it another 41-yard kick. Sorry, to the 39 they're going to move it. 29 rather, they're going to move it to. So that'll make it a 36-yard kick rather. Might put the tee down at 37. Gorniak's been perfect so far.
Well, not easy field goals either. These are not gimmies by any stretch at any level, and he's doing an outstanding job.
Gorniak, perfect so far. This one does go just wide. Bounces into the end zone. Alberta going to try to return it out and see what they can get. Jackson Sterling not getting too far out of the end zone, but no rouge, and ball's going to be put down at the 20 here for Team Alberta's offense.
Well, maybe we had too much talk about the kicker. They sent that one wide. So again, a perfect day for the kicker and an outstanding kicker. That ends up kind of hooking that one. Again, the whole process did not look as clean as normal. So went awry that time, and they'll be getting the ball out on the 20 here to start the fourth quarter, which again, Alberta continues to look for a solution to this swarming Saskatchewan defense that just will not concede points.
Be sure to stick around after the game. We'll have the medal presentation and the player of the games for either side, offensive and defensive. Quite a few candidates on either side. So you can hear the Team Alberta team right beneath us, Rob. A few guys saying game not over, game not over. As a coach here, what's your message to the team being down?
Well, you're playing for pride. You're playing because you want to be proud of the province you come from, the high school you're at, and you just want to compete. And if you compete at the highest level possible and do the best you can, there's not a whole lot more you can ask of your players. If they're competing at a high level, they're playing to the final whistle. That's what you want from your coaches.
Swing pass out to Asiello. We'll pick up about half the first down yardage. And did that ball come out at the end?
Apparently it did. Let's take a look at his replay here. Looks like it got dragged out. It must have been covered in bounds. Nothing is going Alberta's way right now. Again, a simple play just not coming out, and we'll take another shot at that replay. He does get it out. Let's get that back shot. It's a great shot there. He's coming in here. We'll see here.
Ball's still
like
in there, and it gets ripped
pulls
there.
It out right there, and it does not go out of bounds. It's sitting there, and in it goes. Oh, great shot by our end-cut camera guy picking that up. Again, unfortunate for Alberta. Gets Saskatchewan back in scoring area right away.
So Saskatchewan now with the ball on the 24-yard line. Hufan looking for his first touchdown of the day. Going to hand it off here first. Trying to cut it back across the middle was McLeod, but no room for him as the Team Alberta D-line stands strong on first down.
And clearly Saskatchewan a little bit more conservative in their play calling, willing to run the ball as the clock is ticking regardless, and so it will be winding down as these plays are in and out of the huddle. And we'll see what Saskatchewan does here. Again, typical passing down in football when you want to try to keep the drive alive. We'll see what Saskatchewan does here, already inside the 30.
Hufan looking to the right side, throws it just a bit behind the receiver, Pipko. And good to see a lot of the backups coming into the game here for Saskatchewan. Didn't see much time in the first half. Game's out of hand anyways, so they're just getting a lot of guys snaps here late in the game.
Yeah, and part of being part of these teams, these provincial teams representing your province, is to get experience, to gain experience for future years, because some of these athletes would be still eligible for the Canada Cup and the Western Showcase next year. And so, again, getting everybody some quality repetitions in a high level of competitions important, and we are lining up for another field goal.
This one from 34. Gorniak missed his first of the day on Saskatchewan's last attempt, and this one's going to be blocked as well. Ball bouncing inside the 5-yard line. Alberta picks it up. There's no yards on the plate, and Alberta might have some running room. Jackson Sterling down the sideline, and Gorniak, that's a linebacker and a kicker. You could tell there he pushes the player out of bounds, and a second flag on the field as well. There was two down for the no yards. There's 4 flags on the field, so there's laundry everywhere.
I think the first flag, and watching the replay there, you can see there's a flag there on the high tackle. There is a horse collar on the helmet, face mask there. And then I think we're looking at a little bit later down the field, Alberta came in and took a very cheap shot at the holder / quarterback of Saskatchewan. So you can see that there, caught by our camera guys. So this is going to move some things around depending on which way these flags go. So we got no yards against Saskatchewan, unnecessary roughness against Alberta. So it's going to favor Saskatchewan when it comes to the yards and where they place the ball. Obviously back about 20 plus yards from where they could have had it.
So the no yards penalty won't even be taken into account because the return was far beyond the 5-yard no yards call. And so really just the unnecessary roughness there drives Alberta back to their own 20-yard line.
Well, that was very unnecessary and very cheap. And I know there's lots of emotions, but that's where you got to keep your composure, because stuff like that right in front of the bench actually only fuels Saskatchewan more and motivates them more to have a real strong finishing here to this game.
Quick slant out to the right. It was Chase Murray in coverage. He got a hand on it there before Bilalbovic had a chance to get to it.
Well, challenging every throw is Saskatchewan's defense. You see, again, tight coverage, going up, battling it high, a high battle for the ball, and Saskatchewan got that out for an incomplete pass.
Second and still 10 yards to go for Alberta. Clock is under 7 minutes as it'll tick and tick away. Pressure by the Saskatchewan D-line. And there is a flag over the middle here as Gertson throws it away.
It looks like it's going to be holding on Alberta. It's going to decline that because of the incomplete pass, which is going to bring the punt team on for Alberta.
Declined by Saskatchewan. It's 3rd down and 10, Alberta.
Well, last few punts for Alberta haven't been too successful. There's been blocks, there's been returns, there's been penalties. These are important reps for these players as well. As Duxbury is out to punt it away. This one's a good kick. Duxbury, the nice catch there from Smith Windsor over the shoulder. Tries to get it out to the 55. That's a talented football player being able to make that catch. That is not an easy returnable kick. And easily that could have bounced another 15 yards if he doesn't catch that.
Well, that saves him a bunch of field position. A nice kick, getting it deep again over the shoulder, running away. Great hands, good job catching that, securing it to save their team some field position. Now taking the ball just on their side of half, ready to move down the field.
It's not as easy making an over-the-shoulder catch on a ball that's turning over like that either, compared to one from your quarterback that's spiraling nicely. Flory back into the game at quarterback for Saskatchewan. And oh! Wow! What a play! Breaking everybody and hitting everybody was Polyak, taking out the quarterback and the running back before they could even hand the ball off.
And you can see the blitz untouched off the edge. Reads this perfectly. Doesn't know who to tackle, so grabs them both. An outstanding play, because you really got to make a decision. If you take one out, then the other one could pull the ball and go. But great job of wrapping them both up, being there on the exchange in the backfield to shut that down before it gets any momentum going.
Looks like Goody is down for Team Saskatchewan as the trainer's out to see him. I didn't see it, but Hoomfan also took that block on that missed field goal return, and he wasn't at quarterback. I didn't see him injured, but he's on the sideline without a helmet right now, but not getting looked at by trainers or anything, so hopefully he's good as the starting quarterback, Flory, is back into the game. Checking that left ankle or around that area for Goody. Here's another look at the play. Straight off the edge, untouched. And Rob, not too often you've barely got the ball from your own quarterback and you're already getting hit.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an outstanding play. I mean, more of those plays is what Alberta needed over the course of the day, and a great individual effort, but also a call by the defensive coordinator to bring that pressure off that side. So recognizing something they want to take advantage of, taking a little risk there, but it definitely paid off. And with more of that level of play, and again, everyone that's out here working hard, giving their best, and it's just gone Saskatchewan's way all day today.
Brody Taylor and Lucas Durant out to help Goody off the field. Not putting any pressure on that left leg, so we'll hope he's okay. Never good to see someone go down at any time, but especially late in a game like this. It'll go down as a loss of 5. 2nd and 15 here with 4.5 minutes left to play. Flory over the middle. And did he find Conti? It was behind him, and Conti somehow reeled that one in, and I think it might have been with one arm.
Well, dropping to the ground slowly, reaching back with that right hand, was able to pull that in. Let's take another great look at that. You can see reaching back with the hands, able to pull it up off the turf, secure it there for a great long conversion and a first down for Saskatchewan.
Could be a whole gamut of players, but Conte definitely in the conversation for that offensive player of the game for Saskatchewan. Could be Flory, though. Someone's got to throw the ball to him. Flory out left, caught, and some good yardage here for Rogan Pipko. Hasn't seen a ton of action today, but picks up 15 on that one. Another first down for Saskatchewan.
On just delivering on time with space, and again that speed of the receivers in Saskatchewan has just pushed the secondary off. And again, a lot of underneath stuff now that we're seeing. They're just, they go over the top and then they soften and then they come back underneath. And so again, continue to execute the offense, which is what you expect from the coaches as well as the players. Again, pressure coming, escaping out. Again, trying to make a play,
throwing it to the corner. And it's not caught, but there will be a pass interference. And that's what happens when you have a mobile quarterback who can keep a play alive. Throwing it to the end zone, and instead of taking a sack, is able to draw the pass interference.
Well, a lot of battling going both directions, and they are going to call. And they're actually calling it on Saskatchewan. I was wondering, because again, you see a lot of contact in the back of that end zone. He kind of pulls them down, throws them away. So they actually called it on the offense because of the action that he had on the DB. Again, a little bit of battle going on, but you can't grab a guy and throw him out of the way to make the catch. Great effort. Love the effort. Love the fight to come back to the ball. It's going to move Saskatchewan back here a little bit, and they're back outside the 40.
That'll make it a 1st and 25. Not often you see the OPI call, but looked like the correct call on that one. Now Saskatchewan snapping from the 42-yard line. Flory. It's a screenplay out to the left, and this one's going to be caught in the backfield as well. Trying to go forward and maybe picking up another 5 yards there is Komarnicki. It's one of those plays that's not going to go down as a big gain, but kind of ends up being a gain of 6 or 7 where you would have been down.
Yeah, it could have definitely saved him from a second and even longer, but good fight there. But great play call to call the screen. Again, you're throwing the ball downfield, and Alberta's starting to come with a little bit more pressure on defense to find a solution to stop this offense, and you come back with the screen. But good secondary pursuit on that to keep the gain to a negative, a little bit of a loss, forcing them into a 2nd and very long.
Pass over the middle. They're going to find Smith Windsor. He's got room. He's got the first down, and he's got the touchdown. Smith Windsor with another one for Team Saskatchewan.
There is just no speed in this defense to match the speed that Saskatchewan has on offense. Great catch and run. Again, finding me in the gap. You can see looking right, he's just sitting in the pocket, seeing him make a play across the middle. And then the DB is just not able to catch him as he just accelerates and pulls away from the pack for his touchdown.
Gorniak out for the extra point. Make it a 48-point game for Saskatchewan. 42-point lead. With 48 points on the board. As the team in black and green has come to Sherwood Park and dominated.
You know, that level of play just speaks to the programs in Saskatchewan, the players, the staff, and just the commitment of the province has to quality football. I mean, many players come out of Saskatchewan and are speckled across the country, really, in the university programs. And again, a program that really is one of the best in the nation. We've seen the university teams compete at a very high level and do very well for many years. And clearly, we're seeing that on full display here today out in Sherwood Park against this, what was a strong Alberta team. Quality players, quality coaches, but just too much to handle on this day, this Saskatchewan team is.
So Gorniak going to get one last chance to show off his leg here on the kickoff. He's been punting him to the goal line every time. Wind has died down, so not in his face too much. This one a little bit of a lower kick, bounces inside of the 20, and received around there by Marcus Williams again, and he'll return it around the 30-yard line. Alberta's offense trotting onto the field for probably their last time of the day.
So a different kick strategy, a little line drive, checks it up on the turf, same result. 30-yard line for Alberta, starting there, and again, that's kind of been, whether he kicks it to the goal line or kicks it to check up, that's where they've been giving it up. So, you know, a decent little return. Maybe, like you said, the last opportunity for Alberta's offense to find some momentum.
Chance to get a bit of a better feeling going into the locker room. Might feel a little bitter regardless of what they do here.
We are under a minute and the clock is running, so we're looking at 2, maybe 3 plays, and that could be it. We'll see what Saskatchewan has.
Quick swing pass.
Saskatchewan's defense steps up. I think he maybe gets them the first down. Looks like about a 10-yard gain, so Saskatchewan's defense is a little bit softer, coming with some underneath stuff. Good first down for Alberta, and they're going to have likely one play as they were at 18 seconds and ticking. And we got a timeout, looking like Alberta wants to maybe get a couple plays in instead of just the one. With the first down gain, they definitely can get 2, maybe 3 plays in if they don't take too long. Just, again, trying to finish on something positive, a little bit of movement. You know, you never stop competing as a coach, never stop competing as a player, and that's how the game should be played. And we want the best on the field when teams clash like this.
It's never a good message for your players either when you say, "Oh, we're down by so many points, so we're just gonna let the clock run out and let Saskatchewan win easily." You always want to, make that win a little harder if you have the opportunity to.
Yeah, and like I said, both sides of the ball, many of these players are going to be back, possibly playing for their high schools in the fall and playing next year possibly on these teams as well, or maybe an opportunity to show that they can be on the Canada Cup team for these respective provinces that have so much talent. They put out a few teams.
There's probably a couple plays left here for Team Alberta. We'll see what they have dialed up. They're going to take a deep shot here. Gortson. It was a jump ball. And off the fingertips of Hunter. And it'll be the final play of the game, barring a flag here for Team Alberta with 0s on the clock.
Well, and again, good time to take a shot. You got your last one. You got something in the bag. Got a trick play you want to try? Now is the time. This will wrap up this Western showcase here, barring a penalty as mentioned. And we'll see what Alberta has as their last play.
Team Saskatchewan 1 play away from winning a gold medal. Quick pass to the flats. Tackle is made, and that'll do it. Team Saskatchewan wins a gold medal, dominating Alberta 48-6.
Well, it's going to be a good bus ride home, assuming they're taking a bus home after a convincing victory here. Congratulations to both teams. A hard-fought tournament. Early round victories for both of them, but definitely Saskatchewan being the better team on the field today. And so lots to celebrate, and Saskatchewan going home with a successful trip to Alberta for the Canada Cup and Western Challenge in Alberta. great players, great talent here this week for football, and they're going to be going home not happy necessarily with their performance today, but overall great showing by Team Alberta.
So these two teams will shake them up. They'll line up on their own 45s. And they'll deliver out the awards for the game. So Team Alberta winning a blow in their first game, losing a blowout in their second. But what kind of value can a player from Team Alberta take in a game like today's?
Well, the experience today, along with the course of the week, is so valuable for these high school players. They play at a high level. They compete against the best talent across the country. And, you know, to be able to take that back to your high school, and just the approach even to football, the approach to the expectation of being a dominant program, and, you know, being able to see a team like Saskatchewan execute, and, you know, that's the level everyone wants to work towards. You want to work to get better each and every time. So this opportunity to play for your province and represent your provincial region of the country is an outstanding feat for all these young men, and you know, even for the coaching staff, it's a great experience to coach players from other teams and around your province, and you know, lots to learn for all these players, whether you're on the winning side or the losing side. But again, someone's got to win and someone's got to lose. But hats off to all these players, coaches, and the staff in the Canada Cup and Western Challenge that have made this week possible.
First, I'd like to congratulate both teams for a wonderful performance and effort. Congratulations to Team Saskatchewan for the gold medal effort in winning today's game. We'd like to make the announcement of the most valuable defensive player for Team Alberta, number 40, Kate Ray.
Caden Ray is the most valuable defensive player award for Team Alberta.
And the most outstanding player for Team Alberta, number 88, Kingston Friedman.
Kingston Friedman, after a couple big catches, wins the most valuable offensive player for Team Alberta.
And now for Team Saskatchewan, most outstanding defensive player, number 3, Chase Murray.
Chase Murray going to take the most valuable defensive player for Saskatchewan. Defensive back, lots of plays well defended, had an interception today. Stellar game.
Well, and overall, that defense just played so well all day.
Outstanding offensive player for Team Saskatchewan, number 81, Sullivan Smith-Windsor.
It could have been really anybody on the defense or offense in Saskatchewan, but really no wrong choice in Sullivan Smith-Windsor as he wins it.
And congratulations to Team Saskatchewan for the
the offense.
medal, and Team Alberta for their silver medal. Please have a safe trip home.
So that'll do it from Emerald Hills on this IC Live Procast. From Connor Toff and Rob Harrod and the whole crew here on this IC Live Procast. Thank you for watching. That'll wrap it up for the U-18 Western Showcase. Team Saskatchewan winning the gold medal in a blowout. Thanks for watching, everybody.